Welcome to episode 97 of Cowboy Shit, presented by Circle 4 Ranch Water and Circle 4 Sweetwater. Check them out at ranchwater.ca. And Wacey, who's our other partner right now?
Support for Cowboy Shit is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming. And they're the champions of the world in that area. I always mess that line up. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. They just launched their 4th generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. Ted and I both have one of those, and let me tell you, my nut trimming confidence has been sky high.
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all.
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. I used to be hesitant with my ball trimmer, but now I just go dive in head first. I don't even hesitate. I just make it happen. And you can join us and over 2 million men worldwide who are part of the Manscaped movement with this exclusive offer from us to you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping using the code HUGEBUSH at manscaped.com.
And for those wondering, no, this is not a drill. That Huge Bush is an actual promo code, and Manscaped is an actual company, an actual nut trimming company.
And they have a hell of a product. They're awesome.
It's not a joke though. It's funny. Some of the guys on the weekend are like, "Is that actually like an actual thing?" We're like, "Yeah,
it's legit, man.
It's a real."
Speaking of the weekend,
code.
What a time!
First off, though, we got to talk about some Sweetwater. Newest product from Ranch Water.
Have you guys had the Sweetwater? I haven't had a chance to try it yet. It looks good.
Courtney was at Pollockville, and there was this random knock on the announcer door, like the announcer stand door at Pollockville, and Brett Gardner threw me a package in a brown paper bag that was like all wrapped up really nicely. It was like a gift. It was like somebody was giving me a gift in Pollockville, and I was like, "What in the heck is this?" And I had to open it up immediately. Like it was like 6:45 before the perf. And I was like, what's going on? So I checked it out, and yeah, Courtney hooked us up. We had a nice box of Ranch Water and Ranch Water and Sweetwater. So yeah, Storm tried one out on the way home after the perf. She was really thirsty after Pollockville, and she checked it out. But yeah, I got to thank Courtney for hooking us
excellent.
up. And then
they're great people. They've been awesome to work with. So shout out to them again.
Well, and for those that don't know, Courtney's partner in crime is Aaron Gibb as well, who's former professional bull rider. So, kind of ties it back.
Small world, yeah,
well,
small
right?
world.
So we were actually Storm and I were on the way back from where was it? From probably Herbert, and we saw Gibb at the Flamin Rentals. We were stopped there to see a Montana account on the way back from something. I saw him. He's like, yeah. Turns out we're doing that Ranch Water stuff. That's us. I'm like, no way, really? So we had a good little bit bullshit. He had a bunch of big water tanks on a Flamin rental trailer. It was kind of
some ranch water tanks.
Yeah, some ranch water tanks. He was dropping off the flat, but he's like, yeah, we were just canning a bunch of it. So that was a couple months ago now. Before it really seems like it really took off. But anyways, yeah. After the long weekend, I had a pretty long August long weekend. Made a lot of miles. Made it up to Keg River and back for Grandma's birthday. And,
you're all over the place. Strathmore, Pollockville.
Yeah, we didn't get home till about 3:30 in the morning after Pollockville. I got a few hours of sleep after the birthday and flew back to Strathmore. Made it down for the perf. Hell of a rodeo in Strathmore. Hell of a bronc riding in Pollockville.
How about that? Yeah, man.
And how about 295+ point rides in the same night? You had the 97 3/4 from Jose Vitor Leme in Tulsa, Oklahoma. A lot of magic happens in Tulsa, but huge 97 3/4. And you had Dawson Hay up here in Pollockville at the Hardgrass Bronc match, 95 points on the Stampede horse, Wild Cherry. So
that's a special arena, the Pollockville arena. They ride a lot of ranked buck horses there.
You know, like I guess I don't want to say you, but I knew it was a good and very special ride when there was random people in the stands in Pollockville getting up to high five Dawson after his ride, and the people were excited and cheering very loudly, like. Pollockville is one of the most educated crowds probably in the business, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the heart of like the ranching. Like there's a lot of farm and ranch agriculture of Alberta is kind of in that area, right?
So when those folks that know rodeo and know bronc riding, when they're standing up cheering, that's how I knew that it was a special.
Because those are the people who are usually most critical of that side of things,
yeah, 100%,
right? Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So it's good to see someone get rewarded for a good ride the proper way. The same goes for Jose. Like it's about time that record's been broken, and that's the best ride.
Well, and it's lucky that he rode him again because I think they actually missed the mark at the World Finals.
I think so.
Wasn't higher, so I think this was kind of a little bit of retribution. And I'm curious to know if it was the same judges. I didn't find that out, but
yeah.
But anyways, It was.
Yeah, it's great. It's a cool season that Jose's putting together too. Because like he has 14 or 16 90-point rides already 16. This year.
Yeah.
And Cody Hart had the most. Had the most, and it took a whole season for him to get that.
Yeah, so, right. And we still have a long way to go.
That's a pretty cool stat. Yeah, it's gonna be great to see what he can do, man. He's quite the athlete, that guy.
Quite impressive. So yeah, Jose Vitor Lemmy rides Whoopah 97 3/4 in Tulsa. Same bully was 95 3/4 on at the World Finals to solidify and cinch up his first world title.
Well, hopefully that opens the door for more of that stuff to happen, like to push that limit and like see more of those higher scores when they're deserved. Like there's been so many rides over the past few years that didn't even come close to it. Even I remember when JB Mooney rode Pearl Harbor, and that was like one of the rankest rides I've ever seen, and like how that doesn't compete with that record number, like that doesn't make sense to me. But hopefully this kind of, and even the same goes for the rodeo side of things. Hopefully that door gets open more for them to push that limit of rewarding these guys for riding these top animals. The animals are getting so good nowadays, and these guys make good rides on them. It's they should be rewarded for the work.
Yeah, 100%. I agree, Wace. I was glad to see it. I got to say that when I saw that, we were on the way back from Pollockville, and Storm had it dialed up on a phone so we could watch it. And she was like, "Holy shit, this looks like an animation." She thought it didn't even look real. It was just so intense, such a bull ride. It was wild. So yeah, huge to see. What else I've written down here? Okay, man, I got a story for you too. So we were it was Stampede time, and I forgot to tell it in the last show, but we were finished up to Stampede in Calgary. And the first day afterwards, it was Monday. We were pretty tired out. I don't think we really stayed up on Sunday night this year. We just went back to bed. It was just enough work to just get through it this time. But we go out the front door, and Gator's with me. I think we were going to get a car of his or something. Or no, we were going to try and find his lamb that was at the Agri and the Nutrient Center. Gator had some random fucking lamb meat. Trying to track down that somebody gave him at the Stampede.
The ever ongoing Gator adventures.
Yeah, the adventures of Gator. So he was trying to find his lamb, and we get out in the thing, and Gator's like, "Wait, is that your truck with the cowboy shit sticker right there?" And I was like, "No." And I looked at it, I was like, "Holy shit, there's a cowboy shit sticker." This is like actually one of the first times that I'd seen cowboy shit in the wild. We haven't been out a lot lately, right? And Stampede was kind of one of the first places that we were really out again. And I've heard other people say that they'd found them, and like Wacey, you had a couple instances where you'd seen it, and specifically on some certain social media,
some social media
apps that may or may not involve swiping. So, so you had seen it a bit, but I still hadn't seen it. So we get out the freaking driveway on the first day, and I look over, there's this cowboy shit thing, and then on the dash there's two hats, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is the coolest thing!" It's like literally the house across the street and one over
from where everything happens
from HQ, and so the girl's name is Heather Birchnell. And I go out the window. I was like, "Hey, is that your hat?" And or "Hey, is that your truck?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Wait, are you Ted?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "Hey, who are you?" "Nice to meet you." And I was like, "This is cowboy. This is our stuff, like right here. Like we're HQ is literally that blue house right there." So we had a good little chat, and I said, "Thanks, appreciate it."
Top fan.
Yeah. So I owe Heather a letter one of these days. But that was, I thought it was a fun story.
It's cool. It's cool to see, man. I saw a lot of it like in TP Creek and stuff, and it's just so cool to see people repping it and supporting it. So
yeah, a ton of support out of there with Keddies. Keddies has been a huge support in the Peace Country and everywhere in northwestern Alberta. So appreciate Keddies for supporting us up that way, and appreciate TP Creek for having us. Strathmore, hell of a crowd, hell of a rodeo this year.
Like, it's rodeo time again, man.
Donnie Joe told me, he sent me a picture of their beer trailer afterwards, and their beer trailer was decimated after Friday. They had their best crowd ever for Friday. Wow. And they literally had like 6 cases of Coors Original left and like a few cans of maybe, I don't think it was Bud Light, because I think Bud Light's not a Coors product, right?
No, it's not. No. Might have been like Pilsner or something.
It was something else in a blue, I think it was a blue box, or I don't know what it was. Anyways, Donnie told me that there was no Coors Light within 50 miles of Strathmore by the end of the rodeo, because they went and they went and stole it all.
Cleaned it out, yeah.
Cleaned everybody out to get enough.
Man, that's
enough
crazy.
Coors Light. So
people are getting back out on the town.
Yeah, and one of the most interactive crowds too. Like I could have done a sing along like every 3 minutes. People were really, yeah, they were really engaged that way. It was really cool. So I got to throw a shout out to Donnie Joe and Sandy and Steph and the whole crew, Ryan Schmidt, everybody at Strathmore, at the Strathmore Stampede. You guys put on a hell of a show. I'm glad that went well, and glad that Pollockville went well. What else? We took this last weekend off, but I mean, and just for the record, I'm in Montana right now in Billings.
Yeah.
Last Thursday, the border kind of opened up enough to where I talked to my sales manager down here with Montana Silversmiths, Jade, and I was like, "Hey, Jade, looks like I can come down now." So he's like, "Hey, well, get on it, get it booked. We'll see you Monday if you can make it." So I got flights booked, and yeah, slept for a couple hours last night after getting home from the party de Preston, and here we are in Billings. I'm a little tired, but I guess we better get to our
Monday anxiety.
Yeah, 2 days later. But anyways, thanks to our sponsors once again, Manscaped. Check it out, manscaped.com. Huge Bush is a real promo code. And check it out, ranchwater.ca. Get your ranch water and Sweetwater. Check out where to find it all. This is episode 97 of Cowboy Shit. We'll be back right after.
All right. Our next guest is the 2021 National High School Breakaway Roping Champion of the World from Wardlow, Alberta, Kendal Pierson. Welcome to the Cowboy Shit Podcast. How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
We're surviving. we're barely scraping by.
We're alive. We're alive and kicking. So you're coming to us from Wardlow, Kendal. And that's where you guys are from. We drove by your house the other day when I was fishing with Keenan and the Rowan kids. So
probably would have, definitely.
Yeah, I'd never been that way before. And Keenan was like, well, that's Bruce Pearson's house. That's where they're all from. So I think we went too far. We had to circle back on the gravel and go back to the Ewell Ranch to find where we
Keenan didn't know a secret spot that well.
No, I still did not catch a fish. But anyways, right, tell us how it's going. What's it like to be the world champ?
Yeah,
it's great. Honestly, like it's just an unbelievable feeling, and don't even know how to explain it right now. Even and still on a high. So,
well, you've got yourself in some impressive company now. You're one of only 4 people from Canada to win a national title at that level. Like and first one in a while. So, what was the week like? Talk about it. A lot of people just get to the short round and don't really get to that next level, and you kind of found a way to elevate.
Yeah, so it was an awesome week. So I made it in the breakaway and the goat tying. So my first round in my breakaway, I kind of drew one that stepped left, and so I just took 3 swings and got it roped. And then the second one, I just had the game plan of just go rope another one and go fast. And yeah, like my third one, my mentality was I talked to Dad before, and he's like, well, you got nothing to lose here. Like, so just go make the best run you can on the calf and make the last 2 girls chase you. So I just went as fast as I could.
So you were third place heading into the short round?
Yeah, I was. So 2 other girls had rope right after me.
So how did you feel during that day leading into your run? I remember like when I at the CCA finals, I had to stay on the Saturday night to win. And I was the most nervous I've ever been in my whole life. I wanted to puke the whole day.
Yeah, that day, honestly, I watched the first, because the last go of the rounds went. So I watched the last go in the morning, and then the day I just kind of hung out with my friends and didn't try to overthink anything. And going into like the breakaway, I didn't watch any girls before me. Honestly didn't even know what I had to be. I was just going with the game plan of go fast, and it's going to all play out how it is. So I didn't even know, wasn't nervous. I just took it as it was another rodeo run and made the best run I could. So yeah, honestly, I was more nervous after I made my run. I started shaking.
Yeah. And did you know after that moment that you had a good chance to win it, or that you had a really good opportunity there? Or was it kind of, you had to wait and see?
Well, I had to watch the last 2 girls, and I knew I kind of put myself in a good position where the other girls were going to have to push the line and try to rope them pretty fast. So I knew I had an opportunity. It's just I had to wait out the last 2 girls.
And what was it like when you knew you won? What was going through your mind?
It was just shock. Honestly, one of my best friends, Kyla, came running up to me, and she just said I was just like in shock, and my face was just like white and just kind of unbelievable that I actually did it.
So what happens next after you win? I remember being at the high school finals, and I didn't even make it past into the shoot gate, really, so I didn't make the short round. What happens when you win?
So after like I got off my horse, I loosened him off, and this girl came up to me and she's like, "Oh, we gotta go get you an interview." So literally, my friend took my horse, didn't know where he went. I went with this girl, got an interview, with them. Then another person took me on a golf cart. We had to go get pictures for the semi truck trailer and stuff that's going. So we had to go get shirt changed, go get pictures, and then you're just kind of running around doing whatever they kind of told you. And so they took me back on the golf cart after. I actually got to watch another one of my good friends chase in the short go. He was the high call in the steer wrestling, so we made it back just for that. And then they took you on a golf cart to the awards after again.
And I remember the high school finals being a huge event for a couple different sponsorship pieces where it was like maybe you got like a Cinch or a Wrangler sponsorship for the year when you won the nationals, and there was like a whole bunch of awards and prizes that were pretty unbelievable compared to a lot of things.
Yeah, there was a lot. Definitely, like we're all grateful for the high school rodeo and everyone's sponsors. Like they went above and beyond to make sure that all of us kids had like all the world champions and everyone in the rounds. Like they give out awards to the 10th place, and they're all great. But yeah, so Cinch gave a year's supply of jeans and shirts, and you got a Yeti and a saddle and a buckle and a jacket. And I got some scholarship money, and like, yeah, just it's crazy how much stuff that high school rodeo is able to get through sponsorships.
Oh, wow. And like, honestly, that's one of the bigger titles in the whole business. And that opens up a lot of doors for to go to the next places, right? Doesn't it? Because you know, as that high school finals champion, I know in some cases you have a couple invites to a few different places or a couple different things. And it's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely, you're getting to, open lots of doors and having opportunities now that some people like you didn't have before. So it definitely has opened a lot of doors, and so it's pretty sweet.
Is that going to change your approach moving forward now? Do you have kind of more of a game plan that you're going to go rodeo a bit harder now this summer that you kind of got the ball rolling that way, or are you kind of just going to keep with the current game plan?
So my current game plan was already just to go to all the Canadian pro rodeos and breakaway rope at all of them. And then I'm going to also high school rodeo. So my game plan was the same. I was going to do that no matter what. So it just I wanted to rodeo hard already this year more. So no, kind of the same game plan, but yeah, definitely going and pushing, trying to go as much as I can this summer.
Do you get an American qualifier spot through this?
You get a junior American qualifier.
Okay.
We know we haven't looked into the American yet. Well, we've been trying to figure that out, but yeah, we're pretty sure there was a junior American spot awarded for it.
Right on. This season was like my brain's not working properly today. I had two different questions I was trying to ask there at one time. So, okay, I got to separate my mind now. So this season was an anomaly too, like with all the COVID stuff. Was the path to the national finals, was it a bit more difficult than it would be in past years, or was it a bit easier? How was that?
No, so it was about the same. Like kind of like getting down there was harder, but like throughout our rodeos through the spring, it was good. We still got to rodeo. We had like some restrictions where like people couldn't come watch and you had to wear masks in the arena and stuff, but we still got to rodeo and it was still full bore. Like every weekend we got to go, and we had a good finals at Olds, and so all that didn't change. It was just more getting down there was a little tougher, but everyone got down there all safe and everything, so we were good.
I was going to say, what was the process to get down there this time? I heard a lot of different stories about people having to fly down different ways, and then you got to meet up with the rig, and somebody was going this way, and it was quite the logistical nightmare to get there.
Yeah, it was crazy. There was a bunch of different ways, but we ended up, my mom drove down, and me and my dad got on a flight to Great Falls and met my mom. So there was a lot of different ways people got down, but yeah, you had to just figure out a way and just go with it and hope that it worked. And our way worked, so it was good.
And then what? So you and Wacey was asking where it was. It was Des Moines, wasn't it?
No, it was Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh, Lincoln. Okay, So Lincoln, Nebraska. So then you drive from Great Falls to Lincoln. You got to get over to Highway 83 somehow, don't you? And then go down that way.
Honestly, to tell you the truth, I didn't drive. I mostly slept in the back seat. I was laying watching movies or sleeping. So
yeah.
No, we we stopped at a couple places on the jackpots on the way, to a couple jackpots on the way down as well. In Buffalo, Wyoming, and Cheyenne, Wyoming. We hit a couple on the way down. So we split the stops up and then went down. But yeah, honestly, couldn't tell you which way. I was sleeping or watching movies.
The Cheyenne, was that prior to Frontier Days? Was that event? Is that right? Or was I mixed up here?
No, it was just a little rodeo that they have just outside. It's called Hell on Wheels that they went to. They have it like every week. And yeah, so we went there. We just ended up working on the same day and just entered and went there just to go to some more places.
What was it like for everybody getting down there? You said everybody made it all okay, like nobody got stuck. And then what was it like coming back? Did you have any trouble on the way back to Canada too?
No, we were actually lucky. We got back and we had to get a COVID test and all that. And no, we got across the border pretty good, like just fine. So it was good. We were lucky, but and there was a couple people that had troubles, but nothing huge. Everyone got back home.
Oh, that's good then. Wacey, you got something?
So heading into jump back to the finals quick. So heading into the event on the way down there, do you have a pretty good idea that you were going to go down there and do some damage? Or you kind of just like take it as it comes?
Yeah, I honestly, like I had it in my mind. It was a goal at the start of the thing. I wanted to be the season leader in District 2, and then I wanted to be an Alberta champ. And then I just wanted to go to nationals. And my end goal, which everyone's is to be a world champ. But I was just taking it one round at a time and making the best ones I could. And it ended up working out in my favor. But yeah, I was just hoping. I knew that I was on a level, like I was on my game and I was ready to rope, like everything, like I was dialed in. And I knew I had a chance if I roped like I could.
What goes into your preparation process? Like, do you practice every day? Do you just rope? Do you ride your horses? Like, what's your approach to the game?
Yeah. So I practice every day and, so I'll just like either run. I have 2 horses. So I run about 4 or 5 calves on each horse, and I'll run one for me, and I'll run mainly for my gray horse Smoke. I mainly practice calves just for him, like run him down, make sure he's good. And I'll run the odd one for me. And then I have a younger horse that going into the finals, I was roping just for me. I was going and taking my 2 swing shot, or like taking my best shot every time. So I did a lot of practicing every single day. I would just go ride Smoke outside and just keep him legged up, get him in shape, and just keep riding him. But yeah, mainly just practicing every day, getting into the game of how fast, like down there, you have to be fast, and if you want to do good. So
is there anything you do outside the arena to keep on the top of your game, or is it kind of you just the practice is kind of your outside the arena thing?
Yeah, like so we practice, and then I rope the dummy in the morning and night every single day. Just go out there and I got to rope it 10 times in a row perfect before I can stop, both in the morning and night. And then also like I do listen to some mental game podcasts and different a bunch of different people, and just listening to people that are successful and what they do to prepare. So I just kind of listen to those kind of things and try to get my head in the same game as theirs.
So you're probably saying that you weren't listening to our show prior to. Which ones were you listening to, Kendal?
Honestly, I don't know exactly what they're called, but yeah, I honestly listen to a bunch of different ones. I like find one episode from a bunch of different people, or like I'll go on YouTube and just look up different ones and just kind of go and see which ones I like. Honestly, there's not one certain one that I like.
What's one that you remember though? I'm curious if somebody could look one up. They got to know what the champ does. We gotta get the
it's your formula.
The rundown. Yeah, we need the formula.
I honestly do not remember what it's called. Yeah, I honestly can't remember exactly what it's called right now, but it's to do with discipline and how people, like that's the number one what separates people is just discipline, to be willing to work even when you're not up to it like 100%. Like the person will stop and go practice a ride or stay up that extra hour in order to be above the next person, where some people will sit and be like, oh, I'm done for the day. It's like it's to do with discipline and like how people work.
And is that go into you? Like, what time of the day are you riding and practicing? Like, is this a first, like you're still in school too? You're already in one of the busiest times of your life, and you're still managing to be successful at a high level. So there's a lot that goes to this. So tell about like what's a day look like.
So normally when I'm doing school, so I start at 8:40 in the morning. So normally I'll get up, do chores, I'll rope my dummy, like my breakaway dummy, my team rope and dummy.
What time do you get up at?
Normally like probably around like 7:15 ish or 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so I'll get up, feed all my horses, rope my dummies, eat breakfast, go to school. Then I normally have a break, and then I was riding young horses, so I'd ride young horses and rope on them, and we have a lane, so I'd just go practice on that, rope on them, get them kind of started for my breakaway for about an hour. Then I'd go back to class, and then I would come back after class, do all my homework, and then go practice with my dad, and we'll be out. We ride a bunch of horses, like we'll saddle up 7 or 8, and we'll just go to practice all afternoon and working on horses, working on roping, and then do all that, and then that's kind of our end of our day. But like go rope the dummies again and kind of finish up for the night, do just whatever we need to do after, if dad needs some work or whatever. So it kind of just really depends on the day.
And that you go to school online partially, or in Wardlow, or where do you go to school?
Yeah, so I started online school last year. So I just do it all from my basement.
Oh, okay.
How do you like that experience?
I actually like it a lot, other than not getting to see all my friends. But every weekend I get to go see them at rodeos anyway. But no, I love it. It just frees up the day, and it get to practice whenever and go help dad around the ranch, work. And just, I like it a lot better just for what I want to do.
So what are your goals at the end of high school? Are you wanting to do the rodeo scholarship kind of thing? Or you want to keep doing what you're doing and hitting rodeo and keep winning money that way? Or it's always so different for so many people. A lot of people want to, there's one or the other seems like.
And for those that don't know, this was only her grade 11 year, or her sophomore season for those in the US, right? Isn't that, or no, junior? It is. Junior year. Junior, then senior. Mm-hmm. So grade 11 though. You still have a whole other year of competition left.
You gotta defend your title.
Yeah.
Post high school. What's the goals? Are you wanting to? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now with the breakaway and the PRCA and the CPRA, it's crazy with the endless opportunity. So, I'm actually being juggled between both of them, either going and trying to get a rodeo scholarship or going to rodeos. I haven't quite decided exactly what I want to do, but definitely I want to end up down south and in the Texas area just to go rodeo, and how many jackpots and endless opportunities there are around there as well.
You can't sign any paperwork yet to confirm with a school until probably like March or something, or I forget what the timeline is. It's like April 1st or March 1st or something is the timeline. Is that right?
Yeah. It's mainly in your grade 12 year. Some kids sign in the fall, some sign in the spring. So definitely start kind of looking into it. But I've got to make a decision here soon of what I want to do.
Have you had people approach you now? Yeah. After being the champ?
Yeah, I've had a couple schools come and ask me what my plans are and stuff. So I've had more people approach me about that.
Which ones so far?
Oh, there's quite a few now. Like I think there was 10 different ones, but
Damn.
Yeah, so
Okay, where's one place you would want to go and one place you would not want to go?
Ooh, I don't know. I haven't actually honestly looked into schools that much that I don't know what I want to do or where I want to go. I just know I want to go to somewhere in Texas. That's all I know.
In the Southwest region, right? Like that's the plan.
Yeah, that's the plan. I honestly don't know where or what to,
What do you want to take in school?
I think I want to take probably take like a business class or something to do with ag or something like that. I haven't honestly decided that either. Kind of, I wanted to see, do this next semester of my schooling and then kind of decide from there.
Okay. What do you like in school right now?
My favorites is math and bio.
Do you get gym class in online school?
Yeah, riding my horse in the arena.
Yeah.
Do you get credits for that? Could you do that as like a your physical activity credits?
Yeah, that's what I did. So I played hockey. Yeah. I play hockey as well. So literally anytime I skate or I did workouts, or anytime I was in the arena, they count that as hours. I just have to explain what I do, and they count that as hours, and I get my credits. Like I was done gym 20 and at November 1st last year.
Oh,
So
wow.
Well, you play high level hockey too, right? You played AAA in Calgary the last couple of years. Yeah. So what's that like? Are you still wanting to do some more hockey, or are you kind of set on rodeo now, or where you heading that way?
yeah, actually right before nationals, I had talked to my coaches and told them that rodeo is what I want to be, and I just told them that I wasn't going to play this year. But so I decided that I want to go rodeo is the way I want to go.
Well, and with your online schooling, you could essentially go south this winter and go to the PRC rodeos right from October 1st, essentially, right? And you could go and make a run at the NFR now.
Yeah. Well, not until February. I turned 18 in February, but that's my plan is to go. I qualified for some ropings in Vegas, so gonna go down there in December, and then with me getting my junior American spots, and I want to try to get my American spots now. I want to head down there in February just to go down and rope and stuff there. So that's already my plan, is to go down south.
Can you start school early in the U.S., or do you have to wait to finish high school? I guess you want to finish high school so you can defend the title next summer. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any prize money at the high school finals? I was always curious. Again, I didn't do good enough to know. Did you actually win any money?
Yeah, so there's a side pot now they have, and they have added money. And so you at the finals, you pay $150 to buy into this side pot. And if you were in the top, I think it was maybe 3 they paid holes or something, or maybe the top 6 they paid holes. And so I came out of there with $4,600.
Oh,
that's not bad.
Good. Something.
That'll pay for a couple semesters of college.
Yeah. How much did you have to pay Bruce to drive you down there, though? What was his fees?
I don't know, not much. He's pretty cheap.
Sponsored you for the week.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing with my mom and dad. I was asking for a weekend sponsorship. I needed some entry fee money.
Yeah. I'll be like, Dad. No.
Talk about the family side of things, though, because your dad is a former professional bareback rider. Isn't that right? Or am I mixed up on that?
Nope, he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
My family, I have an uncle and a cousin, and my dad was a bareback rider, and my sister's a professional trick rider. So we have a lot of rodeo in us, and dad has been such a good, and well, all my family actually, like, they're really supportive. They're always behind me no matter what I do. And dad, he even though he's a bareback rider, he figured out how to breakaway roping, and he's been one of my best coaches. So he's out there every day with me in the practice arena, telling me, breaking down things, and just helping me to be where I am today. Who would have thought a bareback rider would be one of the biggest helps for a breakaway roper? But yeah, family, it means so much. Like, there's 7 of us in our family, and all of us have crazy ideas, and everyone's there to back them up. So with that support, you can really do anything.
So I know Lorraine and Brody, your older brother. I don't know if Brody's older than you. Probably, right?
Yeah, I'm the youngest.
Okay, so you're 5 of 5. I don't know who. So I'm missing one then. Who's your last sibling?
So there's Lorraine's my oldest, Brody's the second, Keely, she's there, and then Shelby, and then me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't know. I guess maybe I've never met Keely, but I know your dad, Bruce. I don't know what your mom's name is though either.
Connie.
Connie. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you
dad
like
around
being
the youngest
plenty.
of 5.
Yeah, what's it like? That's a lot.
Are you the golden child, or are you like kind of the brunt of all the jokes?
Yeah, well, depends on who you ask. My siblings would think I'm the golden child, but I think it's the opposite. So yeah, no, I love it. I wouldn't want to change it. I love being the youngest and having all them as my older siblings. So they've pushed me to be, I think that's where some of it is me being relentless, is because they would push me off the ledge, and I would figure out how to deal with them when I was younger. So.
And they're all very successful too, between the different things that Brody and Lorraine and Shelby. Shelby's a 2-time champion trick rider. I don't know what it is she won now. I forget what the title was, but like Brett Gardner was saying the other day. Canadian trick, Canadian champion.
The Canadian Pro Rodeo
Act of the year.
2 times. So
Already. And
mhm.
I was talking with Brett the other day this morning. He's like, she's the best. Like she is outright like does some new stuff that I haven't seen before in trick riding or maybe didn't notice before or whatnot, but like is doing some new cool stuff and doing a really good job. She's done impressively well. So the Pierson family's got a bunch of champs over there. In
When are you
Wardlow.
cracking out in the trick riding?
Oh, I already had my time when I was 6 years old, and I picked up a rope and I said enough with this
That's
trick
enough
riding.
of it.
Let's talk some of the technicalities on the breakaway side of things. So you're coming out of the same side as the tied on roping, and the timing on it is you kind of have to like almost cut the calf off a little bit so you can see them on the right side of the neck almost, right? Or do you have to throw when they're still on the left and kind of go under, or what's that look like? You're kind of like cutting across the box and getting them that way, or like break it down so we can hear it for the people. I'm trying to
from the champ. Break it down.
How does it work?
Yeah, so you want to in the breakaway, it's important. Like in any timed event, is you want to nail your start because breakaway, well, it's the fastest event in rodeo, and you want to get your time and rope them as fast as you can. So ideally, you want your horse to break right to the pin of the chute, so right to the edge of the chute, and so that when you come out, that calf's just right in front of you, and you want to be right in behind, and so when you get that shot, when your horse crosses over, you should be up there, and that's your shot because everything's crossing over, and you get to see that calf, and that's just your money shot. Especially when one steps right, you ideally you want to be right in behind, and the calf right there, and you just want to ride up and just rope it around the neck.
And so are you kind of hitting like is your throw like you're saying coming up from behind, but you're kind of crossing over a little bit on a bit of it wouldn't be a 45-degree angle, but it's probably like a 60-degree angle where you're not straight on the calf. So you're kind of like, is it still a straight throw kind of over your horse's right shoulder, or is it kind of like a little bit sideways because they're tailing off a little bit to the right, the calf, or like what's the breakdown that way?
Yeah. So that angle, like especially on a fast setup, you really want your horse crossing over so that you can throw on the right side of your horse, because when you throw over their neck or like you get leaning, those are really tough shots. So you want your horse to really break and get that calf right onto the right side so you can throw and see everything, because if they're on the left side, you really have to like either lean or really throwing over your horse's head because you can't see the calf. So you really want that calf to be broken to the right side of you.
And so at the finals in Lincoln, did you have 3 clean shots and just pick them off right there? Were you reaching it all, or were they all right where you wanted them and just worked out perfectly? How did it run down there?
So my first calf, he went off. Actually, my first 2 calves, they went off to the left. But my first one, I had to take one more swing because it was just pushing to the left, and I couldn't see. So I just took one more and just kind of made sure that I was going to get him. And then my second one at the finals, you get to watch all your calves go. So I was lucky, and got to watch both of my calves run before I actually took them. So I knew that they were going to go left. And my second one, I knew it was going left. So I just rode my horse over and I took my shot. It was one that was kind of really going left. So I really had to follow through over to that side and stay up. So that's like when my horse still was crossing over, but that calf was heading so hard left that I still had to ride a little bit when I was throwing. And then my last calf, it was lucky. It was a right stepper. So that's exactly where every breakaway roper, calf roper wants it, because that's your money shot right there if they're off to the right. So I knew I had a chance with my short ground calf that if I got him on my second swing, he would be good.
Wacey, you had a really good question wrote down about the swing. Let's get into that one.
Yeah, so I got some insider info from your sister Lorraine before this, so she gave me some tips on what to ask you, which has been good. So yeah, you're constantly working on your swing, and it's kind of evolved over the last couple of years. And have you modeled it after some other people, or does that just come with practice, or what's your approach that way?
Yeah, so I like slowing down and watching a bunch of videos of how people swings and what their angles, because to me, one of the most important things is the angle of your swing, and different angles. Like, reason why people miss, or like I miss is because just the tiniest little bit of my angle is off. So I'll slow down. Like, I've watched Jackie Crawford, Larry D Guy, and like Shelby Beaujolais. I've slowed their runs down and just watched the angles of their swings and kind of just seen and tried to make my swing. I'll video my swing and just watch them side by side and try to see what like how mine compares to theirs.
And when you talk angle, are you talking like angle, I guess,
Of the tip, probably.
the tip, like how far the tip is down? Is that what angle you mean?
Yeah, and how your angle of your the tip, and then also like oh, how to explain? Yeah, the tip, and then also just like how the plane of it is, like, because if you have too flat of a swing, that's why you'll rope eyes, or like I'll rope eyes, and so you got to just have that little bit of an angle to it with my swing, and then I can, like, it makes my curl come around and everything to it too.
And so do you have to have your like tip your rope like over your horse's head and like over their eyes a bit almost, or where does the tip of your rope end up swinging when you're riding? Like where's it at?
So mine's just above my horse's head. Like when I'm watching a calf, I look between my horse's ears, and so that I can see. And then my tip's just literally right. His head's just kind of down, and my tip's just right over his head. Okay. And yeah, so mine's just right over his head and going over his ears.
So you have you ever messed up and hit him in the ears?
Yes, I have.
So that's a tale as old as time.
It's very, very precise, hey, to not smoke your horse in the brain.
Yeah. My smoke doesn't like it either. He'll yeah, he gets pretty mad if you do that. So
is that why we see
that
Rex
very often?
Is that why we see Rex in the breakaway sometimes? Because the ladies might have a little bit of trouble that way.
Yeah, sometimes, like, either blow spoke or you hit something happens with your rope and you hit your horse's head. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Sometimes.
So yeah, do you have lots going through your mind when you back in the box? Or do you kind of just let your muscle memory take over and trust that process and the work you put in, or are you always kind of analyzing what the play is, or what's your approach that way?
Yeah, so I try not to overthink it. When I ride into a box, I only think about two things: of see your start and stay up and rope the neck. That's the only two things that go through my head. Because if I start thinking about anything else, I start overthinking and trying to do it. So I just stick to two simple words and say that until I get back in the box. And right before I nod my head, it just goes through my mind.
I'm impressed with your mindset already, Kendal. This is impressive. You
don't meet many kids your age who have that. I even think back to when I was in high school rodeo. Like, obviously, you were driven and whatever, but I didn't have that discipline until I got older and realized and really wanted to take it to the next step. So it's impressive to talk to somebody who's got that hold on it that early in their career.
And elevated too, to that point, like to your point, Wacey, to where you have that different mindset, Kendal, and you're already a champion, at 17, where that I think that's part of what separates. I think that definitely is what separates the champions from those that aren't. So congratulations again, and I'm glad to see your hard work pay off. That's important.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're happy for you. Happy for Canada. Thanks for bringing back another title to Canada for.
We needed one.
We're happy.
I have a question in regards to like the kind of the blow up of breakaway roping and pro rodeo. How important is that to someone like you? I know for a lot of people, after high school rodeo and college rodeo, there really isn't much for breakaway roping. There wasn't anymore, but now it's kind of become a mainstream event and it's at the biggest rodeos in the world. So how does that change the way you go about rodeo business?
Yeah, well, we're all grateful. Like my age group was coming up at the right age. Like, everyone before us has worked hard, and they're finally getting to see the results. And we're coming up, like, everyone's starting to have breakaway, and it's becoming one of the favorite events. And yeah, it's so cool to get to be a part of what's coming up in rodeo history. But yeah, so it's really cool. Like, now there's somewhere for us girls to go after, like you said, college. Because before that, like, I know a bunch of people that they finish their college rodeos and they're like, well, what do we do now?
Guess I
Like,
gotta get a real job. Yeah.
yeah, like they're like, well, we like sold. I know people that sold their saddles and sold their horses. Like, cause they're like, well, we're never gonna get to breakaway rope again, so why keep like do this? But yeah, it's super cool getting to see and be a part of what's growing in the rodeo world.
And in Canada, Lakota Bird has a bit of a jump on all of you because she had her card from the barrel racing, so she didn't have to fill a permit. So she's out there with like 2001 right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how close are you to having your full card to getting those standings to go to the Canadian finals?
Well, actually, I ended up third at High River, and I just filled my card and actually just talked to the office today and just bought my full card.
Oh, nice. Okay, so now everything counts.
That's a big accomplishment in itself.
Next
too.
2.5 months, eh?
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, now it's go time.
Wacey, did you ever fill your pro rodeo card? Did you get it?
I did the year that I had to quit, 2015. Okay. I got my semi-pro after winning the CCA, so I only had to win $1,000.
Oh, okay. So you got it.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I filled my permit in Innisfail when I was like 86. I won like $4,000, but it was all on my permit. So it was like a huge check. Yeah, it didn't kind of it counted. And then I filled my pro card in Jasper with my 91. That was what I filled my card with. So it didn't count either, I don't think.
I think I filled most of my like the rest of my permit with day money too.
With day money, yeah.
I filled a big amount of it with day money.
It's funny, like I filled my card in Jasper with a huge ride, and then I like never did anything again. Just ghosted.
Go out on top, man. Because I was a high score in Canada for a long time.
Yeah, a couple years.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Anyways, this show's about Kendal. So
I want to talk about some goat tying.
Okay,
that's a wild event.
One more thing on the breakaway.
Okay. Actually, I have another breakaway question, and then we'll go to goat tying.
Okay, go ahead, Wace.
Okay, sounds good.
So outside, like obviously your family is really important to you. So outside of them, who are some of your role models in the rodeo industry?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, that is. So, well, let me think. Like people who help me, or like just anyone I look up to,
people you look up to, people you kind of model.
You already
Jack
mentioned
Crawford and
Larry D guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, well, like obviously any breakaway roper will look up to those girls because they literally made breakaway roping to where they are today. But like one person I looked up to lots is Shelby Beaujolais because she's a Canadian, and anytime like I went down to Texas and she was great. She like let me come practice. She has always been willing to do anything and help me. And if I wanted to do something, like get to where I can always call her or whatever. And like anyone, like any Canadians, like that, like Lakota or like any of those girls, like are great role models to look up to, and like Taylor Fwelling but like, yeah, any really breakaway ropers, are willing to help any of us. So it's really hard to pick just one to look up to. Like there's so many great people to look up to.
But if you had to, who would it
Yeah, definitely. Well, like
if anybody gets mad at you, they can take it up with us.
Just keep
definitely like Shelby has been one girl to look up to because she's like done what I want to do. Like she is living the ideal life that I want to, and yeah, Canadian, always willing to help me no matter what.
And that's a good testament to the rodeo community in a sense where it'd be really easy for those girls to not be willing to help you and just do their own thing. And they're willing to help someone like you kind of climb the ladder and get to where they are, which is something that doesn't really happen in a lot of sports.
Yeah, the rodeo community is definitely very special. Like, like I say, anyone is willing to help no matter what. Like everyone's willing to give a hand in any way that you need.
Okay, Wacey, on to the goat tying.
Didn't you have another breakaway one?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
You took it. You took my question. Whatever.
Oh, sorry, man. Sorry, bro. I want to talk goat tying. It's one of my favorite. It was when I went to college in Ranger, Texas, and that was one of my favorite events to watch at the college level because there would be some wild wrecks. Those girls would go so fast, and they would be the only event aside from like some of the rough stock ones that I'd sit and watch at the college rodeo just because it got pretty Western sometimes. Yeah,
well, honestly, like at the college level, especially, it's either going to be a really good run or there's going to be a wreck. No matter what. Yeah.
Is there any footage of you scorpioning out there anywhere that we could get for the cowboy shit channels?
Well, actually, I'm lucky enough that I actually haven't done that. Knock on wood. I'm not going to say that yet.
Careful,
but I've definitely taken a few falls, but nothing like a scorpion.
So is that something you kind of will continue with as you go through the rest of your high school rodeo and college, or is once you get to college, you're gonna focus mainly on breakaway roping, or do you barrel race too, or are you just on the tying events, the roping and
No.
tying events?
Yeah, I do barrel race and pole bend, but it's mainly just to work. Like we train a bunch of horses, so I just bring them, and like barrel racing isn't my passion, so I just take young horses and get them seasoned for my breakaway roping. So I do a little bit, but not a lot. But yeah, mainly team roping, breakaway, and go tying.
So just
How
events, no big deal.
Yeah, that's all the events you can do pretty much.
Yeah.
So how important is it for you to be able to like ride and train your own horses? I know for a lot of people they don't have that option and they don't really do that, but for those, and even you can build a bit more of a connection with your horse that way by going through that whole process of growing together.
Yeah, like my good horse Smoke, we bought him as a 6-year-old ranch horse, and yeah, I trained him like with a bunch of help. Like Tim, I'm lucky enough to have Tim Williamson and Blake Williamson, and they have helped me train Smoke to where he is now. But yeah, I love training my own horses and getting that aspect, and it's just cool because you get to know their style and train them, and so you know exactly what they're gonna feel like, and you just have another level of trust with them. Like Smoke, I know when I back in the box, he's gonna do his job and he's just gonna work the way he does. So I think it's very important that for me, I like training my own and getting to know or getting to where they are and just seeing the progress that you get through, like from, when you're riding them around and you're like, oh, are they actually going to work as a breakaway horse, to them being actually Smoke's my go-to now. And I have another one coming up that I'm pretty excited for. So I love training them.
So do you have a horse for every event then? Or do you usually run Smoke in every event that you go for?
No. So, all of our horses on our ranch have to do more than one event if they want to stay around. So, yeah. So they actually, I have Smoke. I used to barrel race, pole bend, breakaway on, but now I just breakaway and head on them at the rodeos. But I have my young horse. I'm just starting breakaway, and he barrel races and pole bends. So, yeah, all of our horses do one event or two events at least. So.
If you had to do a rough stock event, which one would you choose?
Saddle bronc.
Not lame.
I'm too scared. I would be too scared to get on a bull, and I'm not dumb enough to stick my hand in a rigging.
Don't tell your dad. Hope your dad doesn't listen to that one. You're gonna be in trouble.
No, he knows. He's like, good thing, because he's like, if you were a boy, I would have pushed you to be a saddle bronc rider, because he's like, it's just crazy how much. Well, people who do it obviously like it and they're strong, but I don't think I would be brave enough to do that.
Well, and you're from some pretty intense bronc riding community, being only about 10, 15 miles south of Pollockville.
Yeah. And I just I don't know. Since I was little, I've always liked the bronc riding. So that would be the one I would do. Definitely.
You'd probably actually win, because you probably have done some backyard bronc riding on purpose.
Backyard bronc riding.
Probably done plenty of it.
A little bit, yeah. Had my fair share.
So are you trying to get the Pollockville hardgrass bronc match to get some breakaway roping happening there, or are you pushing for that within the community?
Yeah, I was actually bugging Dad about that the other day. There was a couple breakaway ropers came out to me, and they're like, Kendal, I heard that your dad's on the committee. I think you should get a big breakaway rope and happen there. So, yeah, I was bugging Dad the other day, and he's like, well, we'll see, I guess.
Honestly, that might be the place for it. They love their rodeo. We were talking about it in our top end of the show before you jumped on. That's a deep-rooted rodeo part of the world. So I think it would go over well, if anywhere.
They'd have to change the arena. They've got to.
Yeah, that's what Dad was like. I don't think that's going to happen.
We'll see how fast you guys can be in a short arena. It could be a new thing. Extreme breakaway roping.
Yeah, out of a buck and shoot. Oh dear.
Yeah. I was trying to work on it, so we'll see what happens.
I like it.
Stay tuned.
Well, on a different road, on the high school rodeo side of things, just how great of a community is that, just how great of a community that is to be a part of the high school rodeos. Like you said earlier, it's one of the only places you see your friends right now when you're homeschooling. And just to be able to travel internationally with that. And this is probably not your first time at the national finals either. Like this would have been, this is already year 3 for you in high school rodeo.
Mhm.
And, the scholarship opportunities, just talk on that a little bit. I know, Wacey, I don't know, Wacey, if you did much high school rodeo.
Yeah, dude. I went high school rodeo from grade 9 all the way to grade
You
12.
did the whole thing. So you did
Yeah,
it.
I went to-
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
I
over
went to
in
nationals in grade. I
Saskville.
went to nationals in grade 12.
Oh, awesome. Okay, but let's Kendall talk about that, and we'll each do a little bit on our high school experiences, because I think it's a good time to promote that. That's
I was the 2011 Saskatchewan High School Rodeo King, boy.
ooh.
That's my claim to fame. That's the only good thing I did in high school rodeo.
Kendall,
It's your
it's
title
your
to
turn.
hold.
It's your turn.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, the high school rodeos and junior high, it's a great youth organization. It's giving everyone from now, well, grade 5 to grade 12, an opportunity to be in the rodeo atmosphere and promoting kids to want to go and rodeo. And yeah, it's just super cool how everyone in the community, when I was in grade 6, I knew a couple of people, but everyone's just so friendly. You go meet people and you're friends for life. Like all my friends now, I know that we'll be friends for a long time, and you guys will be able to joke around about your high school days and just look back on it. And I know that everyone who has ever been in the high school rodeo has never regretted ever going to those rodeos. It was always a good time, and just it was bringing you up into the rodeo ranks.
And I know for myself, being able to, I didn't go to the high school rodeos until grade 10. Some of the bulls were a little bit more than I needed to probably get on in grade 9, and I was only I think I was still steer riding age in grade 9, wouldn't I have been?
Yeah, we both would have been steer riding age grade 9.
So I didn't go till August of my grade 10 year. So I got to go and do a few, and the contractors always brought great bulls. I only got in a jam when we got to the finals in Ponoka. I got on some pretty aggressive bulls. Like one was called Finding Neverland with Todd Braithwaite's, and they ended up going to the PBR Canada finals that year. I just got annihilated, and I think then one time I smoked my head off the ground and got a concussion, and I rode all weekend. It was not a good thing. But one of the only problems being in 16 and thinking that was what my life revolved around was riding. It was at a time where I didn't know the difference and didn't know any better. That would be the only time when, now the Canadian Pro Rodeo sports medicine team is on hand. So that's not going to happen. Wouldn't have happened to me at the same, if it was, 10 years later. So I'm glad to see sports medicine there now, but I loved it to get to go to go to Farmington a couple of years not Farmington, Fallon, Nevada for Silver State. Got to go there a couple of times. And it was actually where I learned that I was supposed to iron my jeans and iron my shirts. Clayton, I had a lot of different rodeo parents at those. So Clayton Hines was the first one that told me, Ted, you gotta start your jeans. You gotta iron your shirts. You look like a bum. That's where I learned. Part of where I learned the professional side of the rodeo world was going to those high school rodeos, and really, it was really where I learned how to rodeo. A lot of it, because there was always so many good influences around, and I think Luke Creasy was there at the same time as I was. Jake Vold was there at the same time. Craig Weisgerber, I think, was there. Levi Simpson, a bunch of people that are winning at a very high level now are all there at the same time. High school is the jump, the starting block for really making a living at this, I think. So
yeah, even if you look at now, even world champions, you can see the high school rodeo pages will post oh yeah, this person made nationals this year, they were world champions of the high school, and now they're world champions of the PRCA. So it's crazy. They just bring up such a good association and are making kids are getting them into the pro rodeo ranks and stuff, and just bringing kids up.
And even for Wacey and I now to have rodeoed there and now be still involved on the other side of things. I think there's probably a lot of those stories where somebody might have been a high school rodeo contestant and now they're a sales rep for Cinch. I look to
they're involved in the sport.
They're involved in the sport still in some way. If somebody's working for some of the major companies now, or,
Courtney Dioff, which someone we just interviewed a few weeks ago. She would be a great example of that. And she's really been really successful in and out of the arena. Then the biggest thing is community. It's more than just rodeo too. You learn how to be a good person. You're around good people. That you talk about the rodeo parents. I can count on, I need to take my socks off. I need to count the amount of rodeo parents I had over high school rodeo in the years.
I had a lot of rodeo
Yeah.
moms.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
fun. You get to go spend 3 days at rodeos all over the province with all your friends and have a bunch of fun. Like it was such a fun experience and a time to make some really cool memories and kind of get you set up for that next step in life. And I think that's the really cool thing about high school rodeo.
Yeah,
100%.
definitely. It's it's awesome. And like even the rodeo community, we were talking the other day, actually, just like me and my dad and my sister, and we're like, yeah, if when one of us are down traveling, we could make probably 3 phone calls and have someone be changing a tire in Texas for someone. Like,
Yeah,
it's
6
just
degrees. Yeah,
it's just so like the community is so good that everyone's willing to help each other, even if you don't maybe know them, but they're just willing because you're a friend of this guy, and so.
I once made a trip from Calgary to I stayed in like Orem, Utah with my friend who went to school there, and then I stayed in Vegas with another friend, and then I went to LA. I think I stayed in a hotel for a while, and then I went to Gary LeFew's place, and went back to Vegas, and it was like 3 weeks I was on the road, and the border officer almost didn't let me into America because he thought I was homeless. But I was like, no, I'll be back, I promise. But I like literally stayed at people's houses all the way across America to get around.
Yeah.
So kind of a neat deal, right?
well, and it's those connections you make, you're gonna have them for life. Like when I went to college in Texas, I was only down there for a semester, but I still have contact with a lot of people that I went to school with there. And if I ever went down to Ponder, Texas, I know I'd have a place to stay with some friends or whatever, right? It's just about that community and those people you meet it's bigger than just rodeo, which is such a cool thing.
And a great place to get started, kind of like almost like a free school if you want a rodeo. That I think the high school rodeos are one of the best places to start. Maybe a little school beforehand, but otherwise you could go there. You could almost go to one with no experience and be able to figure it out in a semester or two and make something of a person's self, right? Like I remember going to Thorsby one time, and I actually was there with like Scott O'Clair and then Riley Jones, and they decided that I should switch riding hands because I was riding right-handed for a while, and they're like, oh, you should just switch hands. What's your balance hand? And I was like, oh, that's my right hand. So then we actually like before one of these high school rodeos, I switched hands and just got on a bull left-handed. Like, yeah, sure, let's try this out. And then I think I like rode the bull and actually stayed on. And then I rode left-handed ever since. But that was actually at a high school rodeo in Thorsby. I changed hands before.
You get cool access to people. Like I grew up around like Blade Young and guys like that, and Craig Stevens, and so many people that are influential on my career, whatever you want to call it, for rodeo. Like I learned so much from those guys in that 3 years. So it's such a really cool thing to have. That it's like you get, like you said, a free school.
Yep,
100%.
definitely.
We got one more question for you.
I got one more too.
We got 2 more questions for you.
Good.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you win the CFR breakaway roping event in 2019 too?
Yep, I did.
Yeah. So did you win like 10 grand at that thing too?
It was over 21,000.
21. What'd you do with the money?
It's still in my bank account.
Really?
I bought one. I bought a horse with a little bit of it, and then I'm just saving it until I need to buy a truck or like whatever.
When you go to school.
Yeah, I haven't tried to spend any of it.
Well done. Good work.
It's not a bad payday.
So and then that's gonna happen again this year though too, right? But is it in the perf or not in the perf? I forget what the story is, but aren't you guys in the perf now, ladies?
Yeah. So through the CPRA, we get to go into the perf, and I don't know exactly what that is, but yeah, we get to go in the perf, and then the Canadian Finals Breakaway, which I had won in 2019. They have, I think it's in Claresholm this year, and so they had it in Claresholm last year too as well. But yeah, I think it's in Claresholm. I don't know the dates for sure, but yeah, so that gets to happen again this year.
So if somebody wants to start rodeo on a breakaway rope, and where do they start? Give us a little rundown there.
Like, so obviously you want to get started at some clinics or whatever. And then, honestly, like there's so many jackpots and so many opportunities around now that you can go to one every weekend. So I just say, go out and go to get into the gist of things and go try it and see if you like it or not. There's always, like I said, a welcome in community, and there'll be someone willing to help if you just ask.
Might even get a pointer or two from the world champ. You never know.
World champ.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Okay, Wacey, last question.
All right. This is our final question. We asked this to all of our guests, and we can't wait to hear the champs rendition of it. What is your definition? What's that? What, Ted?
Well, I
What?
was gonna say, like, should we censor this? We don't want you. We don't want to get you fined by the high school association. The new champ getting fined for doing unapproved interviews. I don't know. I don't want to get you in trouble.
She's the champ, man. She does whatever she wants.
Okay, sorry, Wacey, go ahead.
All right. What is your definition of cowboy shit?
Oh, I
You
don't know. You
have to,
guys,
you don't have to say it if you might get in trouble. It's fine.
I don't know. I just feel like you guys are just two guys having fun and wanting to know more about people like all the time. And anytime I see you guys that just smiling and having fun and just messing around kind of deal. Yeah, I just think, I don't know. It's pretty cool. Like I sat and listened to them, and yeah, you guys are just having fun. So
A couple of idiots.
I mean, people listen, so it's pretty good.
Oh, well, thanks. We appreciate it. So tell us on the cowboy shit part of it is do you think that the cowboy side of it is too gender specific, or is it okay? Do we need to make the Kendal Pierson cowgirl shit hat now? Do we gotta go the other way, or how are we doing?
I don't know. You guys just seems like it's doing pretty good. So I mean, whatever you guys want to do.
All right. Okay.
So if we do, so what you're saying is if we do come out with a hat called the champ for cowgirl shit, that you're gonna be our first ambassador for it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you bet if you want to.
Perfect.
I'll be right on board.
Okay. Well, thanks for doing the show. Kendal Pierson, 2021 world champion breakaway roper at the National High School Finals Rodeo in Lincoln, Nebraska. One of the only few from Canada from Canada ever win a national high school title. Some of the others, Vanessa Leggett in the barrel racing in 2007, I believe, if I remember right. And Stephen Culling also national high school champion. And then going back a little further, I know there's some more. I think Tyrell Flowelling won it, and I think there might be another one, but I'd have to go back and do some real digging on some high school stats.
High school rodeo stats.
Yeah. But I think didn't Tyrell win it too? Is that right? Or am I mixed up on that one?
No, I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was one of the first ones to win. But and so was he roping with a Canadian or an American? I forget now.
I do not know that for sure.
I got to look back at this. We'll look into that for another show. But thanks again, Kendal. Thanks for doing this. Say hi to the family for us. Thanks to Brody for letting you use his setup. Appreciate that too. Yeah. And we'll
thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, we'll catch up again soon. Again, Kendal Pierson, 2021 National High School Finals Rodeo Breakaway Champion. This is episode 97, Cowboy Shit. I'm Ted. He's Wacey. Thanks again to Kendal for being on the show. We're back here in a minute. Welcome back. This is episode 97, the Connor McDavid Show. You know who's just like Connor McDavid? Kendal Pierson, because she's the champ.
She's the Connor McDavid of breakaway roping.
Right?
20. I didn't realize she won 20 grand last year at the Canadian deal. That's wild.
Impressive. I remember it being a big thing at the time, but it's
a big stack of cash.
I forgot. But anyways, thanks again, Kendal Pierson, for being a part of the show. Again, Cowboy Shit is sponsored by Circle 4 Beverage Company. Check them out at ranchwater.ca, where you can get your ranch water and the new sweet water now in stores. It's a vodka mango blend. Check it out. And again, the tequila seltzer, ranch water, some good stuff. Canadian, locally made product. Get yours at ranchwater.ca. Wacey, got another one too, Manscaped.
We also are happy to be still supported by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code HUGEBUSH at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free worldwide shipping. So use code HUGEBUSH, unlock your confidence, and always the right tools for the job. Manscaped. Those are our people. Yeah, if you don't have one, you got to get one.
Do it.
I stand behind that. I stand behind that as a product user.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. We also have the new weed whacker on the way too. By the time I get home, I probably
Stay
should be able
tuned.
to, might be able to get in there and
Whack some weeds.
fix up the weeds.
Can't wait for some product reviews on those ones.
We'll see how they go. You can't have big long ear hair and nose hair these days,
I
man.
know.
Gotta
It's
keep that
bad.
stuff fixed up.
You gotta keep it trimmed up.
What do you do for your unibrow? Like I have to get
Sure.
it plucked once in a while.
I just use a razor and shave her down.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, best high school rodeo story. We just talked to Kendall and it's kind of jogging my memory on some stuff. I thought
Some good
it
ones.
was kind of funny to just change hands before a perf with riding the bull, like literally just
That's wild. That's a bold move.
no,
by you.
no bucking, like no drop barrel, no nothing. Just like, yeah, I'm gonna just go left hand down today. Let's try that out.
Just straight. Just Jesus take the wheel, left-handed.
Looking
And
back,
it worked out for the better.
looking back, maybe not a good idea, but at the time it seemed like the thing to do. But I didn't even die, so worked out pretty good.
You're still here to tell the tale.
Yeah.
I have a couple of stories come to mind when I think back on high school rodeo. One of the ones is that it was the Rock Glen High School Rodeo, and I came down. I was at a bull riding the night before in Lestock, Saskatchewan, and I got in a bad wreck and hung up and stepped on, and like I could barely walk. My ankle was swollen right up. So I somehow convinced them to let me get on because they're like, "You're hurt, you can't do it." So whatever, could convince them. Craig Stevens tapes up my ankle. I have to get help putting my boots on. So I get on this bull, slide up on my rope. I nod. The gate opens. He doesn't move. And all of a sudden, he turns his head out to the left. I think a left-hand delivery, and he sprinted down the arena, like full on, like galloping down the arena.
Oh, no.
So I managed to hang on to this bull, and I'm trying to get off of him. And
Did you
he's
get
just
the
still,
mail on the way?
and he's still sprinting, and I'm like terrified. And Cliff Willock, he was a pickup man. He could kind of see that I was kind of in a bind because this bull was running so fast, and I was kind of up against the fence and
Did
was
they
about to get
flank him?
cheese grated.
Was he-
Yeah, he was fully flanked.
Oh no!
I think his name was Broken Shaft. Actually, Craig had a bull that back.
He had a broken horn,
Yeah.
and I'm not talking about the one on his brain.
Some of the ones that
dear.
some of the names that those guys, the Stevens brothers, came up with for high school roadies were funny.
What was
Anyways,
the best one? Go back.
broken shaft for sure is my
Okay.
favorite by
Okay,
far.
next.
He was good. So anyways, the Cliff, like he rides in with this pickup horse trying to pick this bull up off the fence, so I can get off of him.
Did you try?
So-
Did you get off on the pickup horse on a bull?
I thought about it. So anyways, I ended up getting off this bull, and like I limped all the way back across the arena, and then turns out my ankle had been broken for 2 weeks and all that fun stuff. So I was in a bit of a bad way.
Oh dear.
And then
Man, I thought you were gonna tell me you like you know the girls at the bar at like Ranchman's and they used to like stand up and ride the mechanical bull. I thought you were gonna tell me
yeah.
like you like stood up and you were like surf
man.
riding this bull and you just jumped up on the pickup man. That'd have been
That'd have been wild. That'd have been a wild story.
Stuff.
Yeah. And then I actually have another funny story from Rock Glen. This one's kind of embarrassing, but for whatever reason, I started high school rodeoing. Like Craig thought I was way better than I was at that point in my bull riding career. So he'd always put me on like the rankest bulls that he had at the high school rodeos. And I still don't know why.
That seems like rigging the draw.
They did they did the draw every time. They'd match up the guys for the bulls. Yeah, that's how we did it. That's how we did out there, it was good, but it was also bad again because Craig thought I was way better than I actually was. So he put me on this old bull that he had. His name was Heartbreaker, and he was like been the CCA finals a couple of years in a row, and they were usually between like 84 and 86 points on him. So he's pretty good for a high school rodeo bull. So whatever, I get on him, and I'm kind of scared. And I was riding right-handed, so I still hadn't quite figured it all out.
You changed hands too.
Yeah, because I dislocated my elbow.
Did you do it before a perf at a high school rodeo?
No, I dislocated my elbow in Stettler in grade 12, and then I took a year off, and then I either had to get surgery or switch hands. So I switched hands, and then I was better left-handed anyways. But anyways, so I got on this bull's named Heartbreaker, and so I nodded, and the flank had fallen off. Like, I don't know if it fell off in the chute or whatever, but this bull bucked really hard. And I got this really rank picture of me getting bucked off without a flank on. So that was like, well, I was running joke for a few weeks at the high school rodeos of me getting bucked off a bull that day wasn't even flanked. So that was a happy one. Man. So thanks, Craig, for that, man.
Okay, so this one's not a high school rodeo story, but did I ever tell you the one about how when I first started, I didn't know what rosin was? Did I ever tell you that story?
No,
you don't think so?
Interesting story. No,
yeah. So when I was first going, like I was like 12, and I saw this steer riding at the CFR, and I knew that I wanted to do it, and then I literally went to a few. Like we got a Johansson Brothers steer riding rope, one of the blue ones with the leather like half stitched through the handle. That was like Donnie Joe's company. And I didn't go to school, didn't go nothing. I just entered my hometown rodeo, and I was just going to rodeo. Like that was the thing. So I didn't have a vest, didn't have like anything. We were just trying it out. I had some bat-winged chaps that were not bull riding chaps at all. They had like little
I think I
buckles
see a
that went all the
picture of
way
you
down.
on a picture of you on them.
Oh yeah, just me doing
Yeah.
like chowder-headed stuff right off the bat. Like had no idea. I had no idea.
You didn't know. You didn't know any better. You didn't know. Any better.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was a noob. So yeah, I go to this thing, and then that was like my first one. We just like pulled my rope and I got on this thing. I actually also didn't know what callbacks were. So I showed up the day like after, and they're like, "Oh, you were out yesterday." I was like, "What? No. How does that work?" But my dad used to work with John Duffy at one point. So dad talked to John, and they got me on my first one at my hometown rodeo on Sunday. So we got I got to get on, but I literally got turned out because I didn't even know about callbacks.
To turn into an exhibition.
Yeah, it turned into an exhibition. But anyway, so yeah, didn't know what rosin was, didn't know what callbacks were, didn't have a vest. I think Ashton Arichuk gave me a vest like last minute and just they threw it on me. I got on the steer, didn't have any rosin, nothing, like didn't even know at the time. And then I go to like the Everettses, like it was Riley Everetts and remember Marcy.
Raz?
No, I don't. Well, I think Raz might have been there, Riley might have been there, but it was Clayton. And I forget what their dad's name was. I know their mom's name was Carol, but they had these rodeos at their house. Like it was the West Paddle Rodeo at their house. They had like wood shoots, and the Nest boys were there, like Jordan and Everett, like their dad Everett, and even Jason got on some steers too. But anyways, they were up by Marathorpe. I think Sean Morton probably was around there at one time. He'll like this story, and I think his brother Muley was there too at different times. But anyways, go to this rodeo. It was one of my first ones, and I'm there. And this is actually like a whole nother time, I think. But like I went to like 5 or 6 events and didn't even know what rosin was. It like took like till later in the summer when I finally was like getting closer to staying on. And the guy's name was Jacob Anderson. We were at like a Knighton Junction rodeo, or it might have even been, I don't know. I forget where it was now. I have to look back. But like he's like, "Man, do you want to put like some rosin on that rope?" And I'm like, "What's rosin?" And he actually taught me what rosin was behind the chutes one day. And then I like was always learning how to do rosin my rope.
That's impressive. You went that long without knowing what it was.
Quite a ways. It was like 5 or 6, maybe 7.
Did you stay on any without the rosin?
No, I didn't stay on until Winfield. I remember my first time I stayed on, there were a bunch of Holstein cows, and Ty Patton was there, and so was Devin Maisie. And Devin was like so cool because he was at the CFR the year before, and Patton was at the CFR. I don't think it was the year before, but Devin was like the hot shot at the time. He was like 12 and he went to the CFR the year before. So I was like, "Oh, that guy's the coolest." He's got a CFR jacket. It was like the big deal. But like, I think I was 46 points and I won like $10 in Winfield.
Hell yeah, brother.
Rodeo. That was my first time. I was like 40 points, stayed on, then I was rolling from there. Then I think I went to I don't think I even won a rodeo that year. I don't think I won one until the next year. Because I was too scared. I would just like literally let go in the middle of it and just like, Jesus, take the wheel and just like blow out of there a bunch of times. But then the next year in Ponoka, Donnie Joe was in the shoot. And I like stayed on in Ponoka twice. Like, for some reason, I just decided to enter some pro rodeos because it was like one of the last. Well, it was a little further on. They're like I better go try out the pro rodeos. You know, there might be some better help there, and nothing against the amateur stuff, but just might be like a good place to go try it out. And yeah, I remember Donnie was in the shoot and helped me out. And I remember getting a reride at one point, but like literally threw me out on a couple steers, and I rode 2 and 1/3 in Ponoka. That was like my actual breakout.
That's your coming out party.
That was my like first real rodeo where I first really I actually started making some money. And then later that weekend I won a rodeo in Rio Grande, I think was my first actual win or tease, or maybe, I don't know. A couple weeks later I got some.
Now you work with Donnie Joe.
Now I took over for Donnie. I'm kind of missing it. I think maybe I won tease in 2002. I forget. I don't know. But anyway,
first rodeo I won.
I was only gonna go until I won a buckle, Wacey. That was my main goal.
Oh really?
That was my main goal. I was gonna win a buckle. I was gonna quit. I was like, I'm a cowboy now. I got a buckle. I won. That's gonna be it.
I was gonna go till I was done riding junior bulls, and then.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But so I won my second buckle before I got my first one. So then I was hooked. Then I was like, well, I'm winning now.
I think I won 3 rodeos before I won a buckle.
Oh really?
In junior bull riding, yeah. Good times.
Anyways, high school rodeo. I think my changing hands one is probably one of the best stories.
That's a good one. That's a good story.
And I probably
because he rode good left-handed.
I remember getting pretty banged up with Skylar McBride at the Silver State Finals too. We had some pretty large times with that thing. We were getting drunk and passing out in a tent somewhere, and like I was camping in my tent. I think that was where Clayton told me I had to clean my act up a little bit. And then we went to the dry cleaners the next day and got my jeans all cleaned up, my shirts ironed, and then
you're a brand new man the next day.
Then I was in better shape.
Love it.
I don't know any other high school rodeo stories right now. I can't even think about it. I remember getting on some pretty ranked bulls at Farmington at the high school finals, getting pretty banged up there.
There's some good bulls over the years. The guy I got to see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in Saskatchewan, anyways. I don't know. Alberta high school.
I just loved it though. It was just so much
It's
fun
fun,
going
man.
to all those and having everybody look after us on the way. And I remember breaking my collarbone at St. Paul one time, and Cheyenne Kenzie, who's now married to Eric DeBlanco, they just had their first kid. Congrats! And then Mr. August, Eric DeBlanco, goes out and wins Strathmore. But anyways, I travel with Cheyenne and her mom quite a bit. We were good friends, and they like somehow I went and met up with them, or maybe I stayed with them, or like I don't know what it was, but they looked after me all weekend, and I said the pain wasn't very bad, but that's my collarbone, literally, that's like stuck
protruding out of your
like that's from that weekend.
Yeah, no, that's fun, man.
It got snapped off, and they like gave me T3s because the doctor only gave me Advil for a snapped off collarbone.
The Rodeo fam had ya.
Quite the time, but yeah, I don't know what else, Wace. I better just roll on here.
Yeah,
we got some good Rock Glen ones. I like them.
Man, Rock Glen High School Rodeo. That was even Big Beaver. I remember Big Beaver High School Rodeo one time. My brother was back when my brother was riding bulls, and I think it was me, Jared Parsonage, Logan Cadlick, Tim Lipsett, Cody Floyd, and my brother were the only 6 bull riders. No, he was banned from High School Rodeo that year.
Why?
him and Dakota.
He probably got drunk somewhere.
Yeah, him and Dakota Pierson got caught drinking, and then they got banned. So.
Oh, really? I might have been there at the Canadian high school finals that year.
I can't remember if it was at Meadow Lake High School Rodeo. They got one of the parents caught them in their hotel room being bad. So there's no Tanner, but so there's the 5 of us and my brother. So like Tim, Jared, Cody, all went on to like make the CFR. I won the CCA caddies and multiple times CCA bull rider. Braden is my brother, and he ended up beating all of us that weekend. He's the only one to ride 2 bulls. He beat us all, won the buckle, and he still holds that over our heads.
Oh, that's
for the rest of the time. It was pretty funny.
That was that Big Beaver?
The Big Beaver High School Rodeo.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Braden snapped a couple.
It was mostly like Ty Patton and I went at the same time a lot in the Alberta high school. And then Bo Brooks went to the national finals, I think the same year.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kevin Pivert was the other guy. The 4 of us went to the national finals that last year when I turned 18. Remember that was the year. So yeah, Ty and Bo made the CFR, and Pivert and I didn't really amount to be much, but we were there.
You guys rode some bulls.
Stayed on a few. Anyway, Love high school rodeo. Love the scholarship aspect of it. Love the scholastic side to keep focus on our studies and get somewhere that way. So love high school rodeo. Congratulations to Kendal. It's a huge accomplishment. Something will go down in history for her. Thanks for Kendal for being on the show. Wacey, thank you. Thanks to our sponsors, Ranch Water and
we got 2 things to talk about before we shut it down though. The River Rodeo.
Oh, we have a couple things. I forgot all about this.
Yeah, sign up for the River Rodeo.
Yeah, check it out. Cowboyshit.ca.
August 22nd.
No, it's the 16th, man. It's Sunday. It's the 15th.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I had it
August
wrote down
15th,
on my account.
Sunday, 12 p.m. The Vote in the Elbow. Bring your best.
That's good to know.
Yeah. It's this Sunday, actually.
Perfect.
Check it out. Check it out in the link in our bio on the gram. We've got some big announcements on the way. Also, we can't really release them yet, but we're getting close. We got some new cowboy shit in the works. We're just going to put in the first few orders here in the next week or two. Get this stuff on the go. PBR Canada is returning on August 27th and 8th in Lethbridge, Alberta. The NMAX Centrium, the Canadian Cup Series, is back, and then we're going to go into September. We've got Bull Busting with Cody Snyder, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the 7th, 8th, and 9th of September, right after Labor Day. Yeah, man, things are back. We're back at her. Check out pbrcanada.com for the full schedule. And don't
forget to check us out on the social medias.
One more thing. I got to get the full details here quick, but we've got the sports medicine golf tournament coming up too in September.
Oh, September. Yeah, it's a big deal. We're whole sponsors for that.
Yeah, we are.
Nice.
Tell me about this tournament here for a while. Tell
the tournament
about your experience.
Man, the Canadian Pro Rodeo Sports Medicine Cowboy Classic. It's a fundraiser for both the Ty Posabon Foundation and the sports medicine team themselves. It's one of the funnest days of the year. It's a blast. It's a 4-man shotgun scramble at the Valley Ridge Golf Club, where Ted and I are both members.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a heck of a day. Last year, I don't think we fared too well in the game, but we had a heck of a time. We all were still great friends at the end of it. So
I think that I've mostly placed last. Out
Yeah.
of that thing. So,
But hey, we had a good squad. We've been golfing, so maybe we can do some work
tons
here.
Tons of fun. So coming up soon here. It's
like September 14th, I think. It's a Thursday.
Yeah, but make sure you get yourself registered. It's coming up.
Check out the Pro Rodeo Sports Medicine team on their social media channels, and they have all the information that's needed to be found.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Don't forget to get your ranch water. Don't forget to get your Manscaped. Promo code HugeBush, 20% off, free worldwide shipping.
Yeah, check it out.
Follow us on social medias. We're on the TikTok now, and we're taking it over.
Yeah, Wacey's been doing some work on the talk.
So come follow us. There's some good comedy, I think. Anyways.
Okay, we better wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Yep.
Okay, thanks for listening to this Cowboy Shit. It was 97. We'll be back. I'll catch you up next time. All right, appreciate it. Bye.